This is Johnny. 3 days ago, Johnny was a high school honor student, captain of the basketball team, a teen leader. Now, change. Johnny isn't a leader anymore. A normal night, like any other. Johnny has been invited to an older friend's house for an evening of video game play. Little does Johnny know that this evening will be the beginning of a downward spiral that will irreversibly ruin his young life. This is Johnny's friend, Leon. Leon dropped out of high school a few years earlier. In some circles, he has become known as the Pusher. The Pusher is secretive, suspicious, and always quick to avoid detection. The Pusher falsely offers friendship. This is key to his plan. Get the young and inexperienced into a relaxed and comfortable environment, and then the bait is dropped. Johnny is shocked, afraid. Cannabis sativa, otherwise known as weed, pot, tea, reefer, bang, Buddha, Chiba, Mary Jane, and a multitude of other slang names. The most popular is marijuana. The Pusher introduces the drug as a fun and friendly experience. It's a good time. Be hip to what's new. Weed is where it's at. A crutch to lean on when life is not going your way. Johnny has heard of marijuana, and from what he has learned, he doesn't like the idea of it. The Pusher quickly applies peer pressure to Johnny. Unlike a tobacco cigarette, marijuana has no burning agents and requires constant smoking. Johnny reluctantly samples the drug. It has a distinctive odor and the smoke is thick and unfiltered. Heavy coughing is a usual experience for the tea blower, as they are sometimes known. Already, Johnny's lungs are rejecting the heavy smoke. The cannabinoids that are part of the chemical makeup of marijuana, specifically delta-9 THC, is not found anywhere else in nature. The psychoactive elements of delta-9 THC affects the human brain and nervous system, producing changes to the mind, sometimes pleasure, other times anxiety. Johnny suddenly feels the effects of the drug. Anxiety overcomes him. The human body accepts THC like a sponge, and it spreads throughout his organs with a speed unlike any other mind-altering drug, including alcohol. Then, change. The world is suddenly new in Johnny's eyes. The Pusher is pleased. To Johnny, he has gained a new friend in the weed. To the drug, it has won a new slave. There are many ways to smoke marijuana. First up is the marijuana cigarette, also known as the joint, the reefer, or the roach. The marijuana leaves can also be put into a pipe, otherwise known as a bowl. And yet another way is with a water pipe, popularly known as bong. And the hookah. With each method used to inhale the mind-altering smoke, different results are produced. All create a sensation known as getting high. Because of the educational nature of this film, we have omitted the Pusher's perverted sexual advances on the inebriated and susceptible Johnny. A dope fiend is also a sex fiend. Time seems to slow down. actions and reactions are severely impaired. Johnny and Leon have consumed all of Leon's marijuana, or stash as it is called. Although Johnny is not yet addicted to the drug, Leon has long been a slave to its effects and senses this need as an opportunity to introduce other aspects of the marijuana subculture to Johnny. The two must venture into the outside to find more pot, to score another lid. Since some time has passed since Johnny's first smoking of the drug, the mind-altering effect of the weed is starting to wear off. Knowing that other criminal elements of society are a connection to finding more marijuana, Leon seeks out a prostitute for help. The prostitute, herself a slave to an even more deadly drug, heroin, agrees to help the pair in exchange for money so she can keep up her habit. Drug users are well versed in using hand signals and other means of nonverbal communication. This is done for secrecy. Avoiding detection by police authorities becomes a central aspect of a drug user's life. The signal is given. It is safe. Johnny and Leon are careful to watch for anyone who could suspect their criminal activity. This is Devon, the drug dealer. Dealers carry the biggest risk in the drug underworld, and because he does not know Johnny and Leon, he is quick to refuse providing his services to the group. However, greed changes all that. As always, secrecy is of central importance. The dealer is especially suspicious of Johnny. Frisking a new convert is a regular occurrence before any dealing is done. The dealer's home is an abode of illegal activity. Drug abusers stick together and make no distinction between the types of drugs they abuse. The pusher smells the aroma of the marijuana and is satisfied with it. It is common for a dealer to smoke the drug with those who he is selling to. This is done so that the dealer knows that they are on the level and not going to turn him into the authorities, which is known as narking. Little does Johnny know that his second session of smoking the drug will be the fatal blow: addiction. From here on out, there is nowhere to go but down. He has entered what he perceives to be a state of bliss, but in reality, it is a haze of growing insanity. As Johnny hallucinates under the effects of the dealer's more potent marijuana, the pusher and dealer slip away to solidify the drug deal. One can see the harrowing images that this depraved lifestyle affords drug users. Because of the educational nature of this film, we have omitted the dealer and the pusher's perverted sexual advances on poor Johnny. The underworld of illicit marijuana is a haven for twisted sexual acts. Sometimes, a user without money is forced to perform sexual favors for his or her dealer in exchange for his fix. Now a fully fledged dope fiend, Johnny grows increasingly paranoid of other people and his surroundings, which can lead to suffering from what is known as a bummer, or anxiety attack. Even though he is in no real physical danger, the weed has influenced him to believe he is being strangled by an unseen hand. Johnny and Leon escape from the dealer's house, knowing that they've overstayed their welcome. The dealer and his cohorts in crime are suspicious of the pair and worry that they will lead police back to their house. Dealers and users observe no mutual human respect for each other, but are required to interact because of the drug. Back on the streets and with a fresh supply of marijuana, Leon and Johnny make for their next stop. A video store, something to watch while they sample their new acquisition. But what they don't realize is how suspicious they already look. The video clerk, always alert to strange activity, senses there is something not right with her newest customers. The pusher is paranoid. Johnny is being too obvious about being high. He warns Johnny against appearing suspicious. Already the drug has begun to affect the fragile relationship between pusher and fresh recruit. After observing the pair acting suspicious, the video clerk telephones the police. Then, the worst thing imaginable to the dope fiend. The man. A police officer on his beat. The pusher senses the danger right away, but Johnny is inexperienced with eluding the police. When confronted with the possibility of detection, the pusher quickly hands over his supply to avoid being caught himself. Johnny, not realizing the full implications involved, perceives the act to be a gesture of friendship, until... The pusher denies all responsibility for possession of the marijuana and in turn implicates Johnny. A dope addict can become unexpectedly violent when he is caught, like a caged rat. The pusher quickly uses the opportunity to escape, and will continue to seek out fresh young minds to corrupt. But for Johnny, this is the end of the road. Hooked. A monkey on his back. Insane. For those like Johnny, this is the bottom of the barrel, the last ride out. He will forever be a slave to the marijuana, and to prevent him from hurting himself or others, he is permanently incarcerated in a maximum security psychiatric hospital. The question remains, why? Is being hip worth a wasted life? For Johnny, it was. But it doesn't have to be that way for you. Marijuana, a silent cancer in the community.